Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, or perhaps even good evening. It's wonderful to see you, Mr. Brian, Miss Julia, and anyone else who's out there watching. Thank you. Welcome for joining me. It's going to be an interesting, shall we say, experimental session. Once again, it's going to be groovy because it means I'm going to have another goal at making the Synty characters work with the Genesis 8 rigging in DAZ Studio, and it's going to be super exciting. I tried this not yesterday, but I think a day before, and I didn't have so much luck. Brian, the magic Mr. Brian, has figured things out and thought he'd share it with me, and he totally did, and it worked flawlessly. Let me show you what I've been able to make this morning. In fact, this is just a little screenshot here of something I've have cobbled together. This is in fact the Synty female police officer woman from the Synty City pack, I think. City Town pack, I don't quite remember. And notice how she has 3 different poses. She also has 3 different outfits, and that is of course in the DAZ Studio Police Department. So that was done in this method that Brian discovered, and that's great because that avoids the figure having to be manifold, or avoids this error message that says this figure needs to be manifold, or this figure contains loose parts. Those were the 2 things that made wrap not work with the Synty figures. So this is what it looks like in wrap the moment we bring it in. So this is essentially the Synty character with these little delete polygons and select small components bits nodes here that deletes all these things and then brings it back with a lattice node. This is the Synty character wrapped around a Genesis figure. This one is Genesis 3 because I thought I'll just leave the T-pose in place, and it looks distorted, but it doesn't really matter because once this works in DAZ Studio, we're just going to go and import the original Synty character as a morph to bring it back to its original proportions. And then we're going to match the skeleton, and that's that. This is Blender, by the way. This is how it works. This is how it comes out in Blender. So it looks like a totally scrunched up piece when you first open it. The FBX can't be opened directly in DAZ Studio. It has to be opened in Blender for that, and then adjust it. So we'll go through that, and then we do this in DAZ Studio and use the transfer utility, and boom, have wonderful police ladies now in DAZ Studio that are low poly, which is great. What's up, Mr. Rod? Welcome to the stream. Wonderful to see you. Well, I say let's get going and see if I hopefully can remember how this works. Brian, I'm really, really grateful that you managed to figure this out. It's very cool. I'm going to go and open DAZ Studio as well as Blender as well as Wrap, and then we'll get going and see if we can do this from scratch with the Genesis 8 figure. Oh, that's a great idea, actually. Yes, that is a Brian, that's terrible. I was just showing you examples. That's terrible. Let me show you that again. My God, how embarrassing is that? Thank you for reminding me. This is what I've been meaning to show you. This is what I've made in DAZ Studio this morning. This is an iRay render of the 3 police ladies. Little sprinkles added here in Clip Studio Paint because I thought that's kind of cool. DSPD, that's the DAZ Studio Police Department, by the way. So there we go. That's what we're going to do, but with Genesis 8. And then this is what it looks like in wrap. So this is what I was describing about. Very cool. The Synty character being wrapped around the DAZ character, the Genesis 3 character. And then this is that in Blender, and this is that in DAZ Studio. Sorry I didn't show you these pictures before. Right. Famous last words, right? Writing rod, that's exciting. Do you know what I also might do, Brian? I need to tell this to give it my actual license. How do I do that? Activate license. And then we just select the license file. I don't remember where that is. I have it, but I don't remember where that is. I might just use the trial version for today, and then we'll use the real version from tomorrow. Oh, that's the plan. Which forum are you referring to, Brian? The DAZ forums? I'll go and use the policewoman that I started with and see if I can use her with Genesis 8. So I'll go delete this cube, in fact delete everything. I was just gonna do this on my own, and then I realized, hey, it's close to 5 o'clock. I might as well just wait 10 minutes, make myself a coffee, and do it with all you. That's nice. I've got this folder here, the Synty city characters. That was it, city characters. And I've made several folders in this already so that I'm super nice and organized. So I don't need the police woman in here. I don't need to open her in Blender just now. Just so that, no, actually I will do that just so that we're on the same page here. So under, wasn't here city characters? Yes, I've opened the wrong thing. So the first thing that we do is we open this FBX from the Synty source characters here. We can try a different one, but I thought one without skirt might be nice because that would cause issues with weight maps, and I'm not at a point where I know how to fix that yet. So I'll go and use the male police woman here. And I pretty much leave everything as it is except for animation. I'm going to tick animation off, so we don't want to see that. And then this hot mess comes out. And that's kind of okay because the bones are all rotated weirdly. So I don't know, there's a leg sticking out and stuff. So we don't really, you know, we don't really know what's what. But that's cool. We click off it and then we go and select the bones here. Not the character, but the bones. And then we head over into, from object mode, we switch it to pose mode. And we select pose, clear transform, all, and that will at least bring us a character that is usable now. That is neat. So we'll go and switch this back to object mode, and now we'll select the actual character as opposed to the bones, so just the character, and this is what we can now export as an OBJ. And I might just go and export this at the correct scale. I mean, I can tweak it elsewhere, that's also totally fine. Just so that we're on the same page here, I'll say female police v2, just because, you know, this one I know works already. I'm just gonna do this again under selection only, and that's all good. But the scale I'm gonna tweak to 100, just so that it matches what the character from DAZ Studio looks like. So we have the same scale there. We don't have to rescale that. Export, and that should be that. If you find that the character now collapses back in this weird position after you've done that, or after you've select off it, then this is often because you've left animation enabled when you imported the character. I found that out the hard way. So that's this character exported. Now let's export my Genesis 8 female character. Since we know that the Genesis 3 character works, since the poses are similar, I'm eager to see what this looks like with Genesis 3, maybe with my stream safe textures here. G8F tanned. I could probably go for 8.1 as well, but I'm going to go with 8.0. Oh, the DAZ forums, okay. Rod's been reminded of coffee, I like that. Oh, wow! Fried dill pickle potato chip and eggnog thing. You know, we bought some new eggnog. The one we've had up until this morning, it didn't look so good. There was something wrong with it. It was a bit too gloopy. And so we bought new stuff, which is based on almond milk. It's the Califia brand. Can't wait to try that out. Maybe when we watch Mr. Chris's stream in about 2 hours, if you're all around for that, that'd be awesome. So here she is. I don't think I have to do this, but I will. So she doesn't have eyelashes already, which is nice. Part of my stream safe textures product. I'm going to go and switch her into base resolution. I don't think I have to do this, but it's less geometry to calculate. And so I'm thinking, you know, maybe it's all awesome. This is good. Let me go and export her. I'm really excited to see if this works. I've made another folder for this for... Is it just OBJ characters? No, Genesis characters, that's it. G3 female base, so this is going to be the G8 female base. Everything is good except for no maps. Okay, let the magic begin in R3D. Alright, see if I can remember this. We're going to first of all load two geometries, source and destination. And like you, Brian, I'm going to go and rename these. So this one is going to be the Synty character. And this one is going to be the Genesis character. Or the DAZ character, or whatever. So then in Synty, we're going to go and bring in under Synty test the OBJ characters. Is that what I did? Yes. Female Police V2. Let's bring her in. She's going to be ginormous. No worries. Haha. Synty woman. And then here we go and bring in the DAZ woman. And that's under, I think, Genesis characters. G8 female. There she is. And just so that we can tell them apart, I might make the DAZ character a bit pink, so that we know we have two meshes here. So definitely different, definitely different. And you said, Brian, this matched up with no points. That is quite exciting. I love it. So just to cast your mind back a couple of days ago, if I go to alignment and use a wrapping node, and just use this as the floating geometry and then this as the fixed geometry. The wrapping node tells us the floating geometry contains 15 disconnected polygon components and it should be 1. So we then went into Blender, and in her case this is like the police hat and the hair prop and all that, and bits on her belt and stuff. Those are all just loose bits like the pockets here. So Wrap doesn't like that. So I had merge them all into one character in Blender, and at that point Wrap complained that the mesh isn't manifold. So Brian showed me another trick of how to do this, and it was, it went okay. So I thought that's neat. So I did the manifold thing, brought it back into Wrap, and then Wrap again complained that there's loose pieces. So it was kind of an endless loop. So okay, thanks for letting me know. I think I might just go and see what it does. So right now we get this error message as well. So Brian found out another exciting node, which he called, I have to cast my mind back to that. That's where screenshots are super, super helpful. It was the delete polygons node, I believe. Let's just look it up. This is it. Select small components and delete polygons. Feliz Navidad, Mr. Jeremy. How's it going? Thank you for joining us for another exciting Synty to DAZ studio session. And I can't wait to show you what's happening. So let's try delete polygons. No, actually we need to do select polygons first. Select small components. And what I find fascinating about this node is that it doesn't have any parameters. It just goes and does it, which is really cool. So once we've put that into there, the original character, I think we can go and remove that. We can then go and bring in a delete polygons node, which takes those small components somehow in, and the original geometry, I believe. And then we can give that to the wrapping node. And at that point, the wrapping node says, we're all good. You can hit compute and do this thing. Let's see what this looks like. If I switch off the Synty character and the Genesis character, then this is all the stuff that this node has deleted. So all her belt pieces and, most of her head, in fact. But that's okay, because we can bring that back with this lattice node. That's what she looks like from inside. Huh. So we'll see how this goes. I might go and, if this doesn't wrap well, we'll try points. And if this doesn't wrap well, then I'll try to export this character again in an approximated ape-hole so that Wrap has a better time in doing this. Let's go do this thing. Watch the magic. The poor lady, I know. She doesn't even have a brain. You wrapped already? That was fast. Have we missed it? I've missed it. I want to see. Boing. That's it? Oh my god, that was it. That's the low polygon geometry. That's quite cool. So I'll remove this. And I think does it wrap it well now. We've got finger issues, I think. Yeah, finger issues. Body looks okay. Feet look okay. Crotch is fine. If I go and compare this to the Genesis figure, it's blocky and all, but I think even the face is probably usable, since we don't have eye cavities and stuff. Let's just do finger points. I'm thinking just to tell it where the thumb is and where kind of the rest of the fingers are. Let it work it out. Not so bad. Groovy ganja. Core. Yes, Rod, you might want to try out Blender before you try Core. Actually, or Unreal Engine before you try Core. No, but Core is wonderful. Core is something that's built on top of Unreal Engine. And it uses kind of a simplified approach to making games. So I think what still lets Unreal Engine as well as Unity down is that it's just not an easy thing to work out. And you really have to have so much knowledge in getting going with these things. And Core is something that makes game development simpler using Unreal Engine. So it has its own editor, it has its own ecosystem, it has its own, you can make games, you can release them, people can get them from the kind of the Core store, and you get to keep the same character no matter which game you play. That's kind of cool. So you can customize the character, much like in Fortnite, but once you've done that, you can also go and take that character into other games that you play. Games created by the community or by professionals. Super cool. Very clever because of the silent L, right? Very clever. Oh, that's very clever. Where might that be? Under geometry. Is it selection, maybe? Select point pairs, that's it. So, left geometry and right geometry. So I suppose that's this and that's that. And then this goes into, hang on, which one? This one here? No, this one. Point correspondence instances. Perfect. And it now goes, no, you don't have points yet. We need to go and make points. Sync views. Make this a bit smaller here. She looks so funny without the head. Yeah, so I might just do the hands. And I'll try this with symmetry. So left X symmetry, right X symmetry. And I mean, let's just say these fingers here are not separated. So I'll just go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5 at the top there. Let's see if that works. That's all I want to do. Maybe that's all we need to do. See if we can wrap this thing. Come on. Ding. It is so fast. Thanks to low geometry. Usually we have to wait like 2-3 minutes or so. It's looking okay. Crotch is okay. Feet, maybe the feet do need a little adjustment. Maybe like just the like these 2 points here, this and that. That might be a good idea to match. "30 seconds. Julia's always in Core. She is so excited about it. I'm so happy about this. Yeah, feet and then the heels as well. Let's do that. I think ankles are okay. So let's do feet. And what I find quite groovy is that it doesn't seem to have an issue with the open part of her head. It just doesn't matter. Okay. Nice. So as I said, the other option would be to just pose this character closer to to the A pose. Still using geometry and mirroring. So I'm thinking maybe then this could be the toe. And then this could be the little toe. Let's just say that. Toe and little toe. And then we'll do the heels as well. Like, you know, let's say this is the heel. And this is the heel. Okay. Ka-ching! Feet in the correct position. I think we're okay. What do you think? Good this way? I think it's worthy of giving it a go. Let me go and save the project, for which I have another folder. Check it out. It's wrap projects. And I'll call this one, oh yeah, police woman G8. Woman. It's not chow mein, it's woman, isn't it? There we go. Rod, I'm looking forward to that. Give him your best rates. Oops. This happens if you accidentally hold down Control and Alt, then left click, then you can do this. Not something you want to do, but sometimes it happens. So if it works, let's go and bring in our lattice node now. This is to restore the pieces that... Oh, wrong viewport. That'll restore the pieces that are missing from Our Lady. So she's now in the Genesis 3 kind of pose. Let's go and... Plus lattice mode, that's something... I always forget how to hook it up properly. So it has 3 inputs here. It needs the geometry to deform, which I think is the original character. Then it needs the source deformation. And then it needs the target deformation. And I think the source is it with missing bits. And then the target is whatever comes out of the wrapping node, I think. And then we have Lady... Whoops. DAZ Studio spoiled me. Control Alt. And then we have Lady back. And so now, if I switch off the wrapping node, we don't have 2 intersecting characters anymore. Everything is groovy. She has her pockets on the belt bag, and she's got her hair bag and her whatever eyebrows and stuff. That looks a little bit wonky, but if we make this 10 down here, or 20, it's not looking so bad. So something's happened here with the eye, with the hair. I suppose the hair just overlaps the eyebrows, which is fine, you know. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I think maybe 20 is probably the way to go to restore the eyes here. I'm thinking, oh no, hang on, what's happened with the arms? No, that's not good. Right, so that might not be great compared to Genesis. It might still be okay, because we're gonna basically even it out with the morph later, so maybe it doesn't matter too much. 3 for the neighbors, okay. It could be, it just looks that the head geometry looks a little bit mangled here. But again, it doesn't actually matter, because we're going to restore all this geometry. I'll take your advice, Brian. I'll use 3. And we'll see what happens. Since the arms are straighter that way. And it's less, you know, less smoothing applied. Let's just see what happens, I say. I had no points on the head, that's true, yes. Let's just see what comes out. Let's see what we do. Load and save. Save geometry. And then here we'll go and say I think wrap exports. And this is going to be female police G8 actually, because the previous one was G3, so that was actually incorrect here. That should have been G3. And this is going to be our G8 that we're going to save out now. Compute current frame. Let's just see how DAZ Studio handles this. This is exciting. Import our character. %, scale, here she is. In this exact position, which is great, exactly what we want. Materials we'll deal with later. And we'll head over to Assets, Transfer Utility. From Genesis 8 Female to Female Policewoman G8. Don't fit, don't parent, just boom, there we go. No G8 figure, here she is. I might go and give her some materials and make her unsmooth. And then we'll go and bring in that morph. So smooth, make that blocky. And all we really have here is the base texture, which is in here. So she comes, there's actually 12 textures with the Synty characters. 4 of them, there's 3 different outfits with 4 different skin tones. That's kind of nice. So I'm going to use the O1A. So there's O1A, O1B, O1C, and then there's 2A, 2B, 2C. So I'll use the one with the blue outfit. And there she is. Not so bad. And it's a bit too glossy here. So let's crank up the roughness so that it's not scaring the kids away. 0.75 or something. So there's a little bit of shine to it. Righty, so that looks almost like the Synty woman, but not quite. So let's bring in the morph to restore her, which is the original OBJ. Which is OBJ characters. Actually, I was there. That's correct. Female Policewoman version 2. And in this, I may have actually... No, that's good. 100%. I didn't do the scale correctly earlier, so it came in a wonky scale. So let's do that. Does it? Oh, that already exists. Morph call female police V2 already exists. Does it? How? How does that exist already? I don't know. Female police. That's it. Successful. Will DAZ explode? That is the question. Parameters morphs. Yeah, indeed, I have a female V2 character morph already. Oh my god, really? I don't know why that's in here, because I've just loaded this figure fresh in, haven't I? Curious. Well, this one is our... Why is she the T-pose? She's the T-pose because that was the original morph, wasn't it? I have a feeling I need to pose her into A to match Genesis, then I don't have to worry about the points. And then, of course, by the time I bring in the morph, it'll remain the A pose. I must have done it in an alternate timeline. Yes, indeed. But, you know, the concerns we had about the geometry and stuff, I don't think we don't have to worry about anymore, because even if it looks wonky in wrap, we're totally fine by the time we bring in that morph again and restore the geometry that way. So, ha 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 ha! There she is, pockets and all, feet as they once were. Approximated feet? Correct feet. Okay, beautiful. So this means now the poses aren't gonna work well because of the A pose T pose discrepancy. So this is where Agent Unaware's converter might come in handy, but I'm going to go and avoid that. I want the Synty character to be in the A pose when we load her in, when we load this morph in. It needs to be A. It doesn't really matter that much. Let's go and tweak the skeleton here, because that is, yes, that is an issue. That is an issue. So even if we go and say, edit, adjust rigging to shape, I'm not sure how successful we're going to be with that. Yes, you know, we were probably at one point successfuler than that, but at the same time, let's do ERC freeze magic here. Yeah, okay, so 0 is really, you know, the bottom value. So I don't know if poses are going to work, but power pose should work. Is it? Hello, thank you very much. Good stuff. Does it? We can do this. We can do that. Let's try a pose just for a laugh. So it's, you know, certainly going in the right direction. Last time we couldn't do anything with this at all. I have a feeling the Genesis 3 poses are probably going to work better. This might be... Yeah, the arms are a bit too far out here. So this is where that Agent Unaware's converter would come in. But if we try Genesis 3 poses, they're probably going to work. Yeah, they do. Well, I say that. So there's still wonkiness in the arms going on. So we'll go and make this... We'll pose this character in the in the A pose, and then we'll try this again. And maybe we don't even need points, because when I did this with Genesis 3, I didn't need any points. It just worked this out all by itself, which was really, really cool. When 3D apps start reading your mind, yes. Very good point. So for the A pose then, if we go to Blender, and I think this is possible in pose mode. Yeah, if you select the actual skeleton here, if you go into pose mode, and we'll have to work out the exact angles for this to match. So maybe I'll go and bring in my Genesis 8 character as just a reference, just so that I know how far I need to bend these things. That's an OBJ, of course. And that'll be in Genesis characters. Genesis 8 basic female. That's almost the right scale blender, thank you. S0.01, ka-ding, there we go. Yeah, and it's just as a guide here, just as a reference. Select my Synty character, go into pose mode, and then of course it's also a question of which bone is it that needs to be rotated. So RY, that is actually correct. If only I could see a proper value. Where might that be in Blender? Like the thing where you read a number type thing. Could have sworn that's on the little, on this thing here. With something selected. But of course that's not how Blender works when you want it to work. Is that on the bone thing? That could be. Is this it here? That could be. So R, Y. Yes, that's the one. Too fast. Yes, indeed. I like maybe something like a number that's like W and all that. Well, that's something top left. That's a number I'd like to see in that interface on the right. Because to me it feels like if we were to put this to something to 0, that would actually be seriously cool. Is it maybe the mode? Is this good? No. I wonder what the bone orientation actually is. I'd like to just see one number change, because that is what I'm doing here, and currently I'm seeing multiple numbers change, which is not good. And of course, you know, it's process of elimination maybe. Is it axis angle? Should I try that? I think axis angle is probably the best thing for me to try, in which case 45 sounds like the winning number. Oh, N does it. Oh, thanks, Brian. And is that, if I now go back to the default here, would I? No. So okay, good. So that's kind of the same thing. Gotcha. But it has to be angle for it to make sense. Now the difficulty is it just selecting this other bone here. And so RY. Oh, I see. I have to set this again then, of course. It's Y. Is that 45 also? No, it's not actually. That's uncool, isn't it? RY. Do that. Oh, it's in W. Gotcha. And not in that direction either. Even though there 45, and then the legs here, I think this is also Y. Whoops. That almost looks like 1 could be the magic number. Now that bone is totally hidden inside here. That's the bone. Oh, I'm still on the wrong, sorry, I'm still on the wrong, this here, so that needs to be 10 then. And then this thing, that also needs to be axis, and then that needs to be 10 also. There, that is that. Phew. I wonder if there's a way, because Blender, yes, I wonder if there's a way that we can save this pose somehow and apply it easily to another character. So if I go and bring in another character that I'd like to have posed the same way, I wonder if there's a way to do this in Blender. But yeah, I don't know much about the whole pose mode thing or armatures in Blender at all. Pose library? Oh, maybe with add pose. What do you think? Synty a pose. Add the current pose to the active pose library. There's an active pose library? That is kind of cool. Where is that library? Is it getting saved with the blend file maybe? Browse poses currently doesn't work, but let's go and add it. Add new, yes. And we're not being exactly asked for a file name. Oh, we do. We hit down here. So we'll call that a pose, perhaps. Synty a pose. That's at the end. Is it saved now? I like a button that says okay, you know. Now we don't do that in Blender. This is, you have to do other things. You have to look at the camera funny and then it saves it. This would be good if that would work, right? Let me go and save this as a blend file just so that we have it. Which means I'm going to have to make myself another folder here. Let's see, that's that. And then of course we'll go back into object mode, make sure we select the Synty character and save her out again and see what happens next. So this is now the A pose policewoman, literally version 3. That's neat. Selection only, OBJ, scale 100, and the rest, well, we'll just leave exactly what we did a minute ago, just so that, you know, there's no funny business. Thankfully, wrap is still in play, so all I need to do here is pick up a new geometry. Aye, frame range to the file sequence detected. Let's quickly abort that and go back to Blender and just tell Blender to not do that again. What did you do there, Blender? How is there an animation inside the OBJ file in there? Because that's totally not ticked here. And it's selection only as well, so there's no Genesis character, shouldn't be in there. They have the same size, so I don't really know what it meant here. Well, let's just try this again. Maybe Rap's confused. Female policewoman V3. Adjust timeline to sequence. I know it just load as a single file, I'm thinking. And she's gone, she's back. Perfect, now she's got the A pose. That's awesome. That is nice. This node is still correct. It still removes the head. And I think maybe the points are no longer necessary either. So maybe I'll just go and remove this node. Genesis is still the same. See if we can work it out now. Just without any points. What's his problem? He doesn't actually mind. He just needs to have it all computed and yeah, okay, fine. There's still the wonky fingers there. But I wonder if we need to worry about it, because, as I said, once we restore that next morph, maybe we're okay. Single file, yeah, okay, thanks, Brian. I think that's a good idea. Because, you know, if I have to do this with 100 characters, then this needs to be a little bit, you know, hopla hop type thing. So no points would be great. And also preload a pose, that would also be good. I might just go and just try this. And I'll say G8V2. Compute current frame. See how DAZ Studio feels about this. So I might go and just have a new scene. I don't know why there was another morph and whatnot in there. That's poses, isn't it? That's not going to be there. Figure. Well, actually, without, let's go just use the gray character. I kind of like that. 8 def load. The point should still be valid, even though the geometry's changed. I might go and bring that back then. Thankfully, I have that file saved. Let me see what happens without the points, just out of curiosity. And then import policewoman G8V2. That's our current one. There she is. Assets, transfer utility. Select Genesis 8 as a donor. And as a receiver we have this. No fit, no parent, and boom. It's so fast. Low poly has just so many advantages. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. And when we go and bring that morph in now, edit object morph loader pro, bring the original guy back. There we go, choose. And that would be in OBJ characters, isn't it? Female police V3, is that her? Yes, must be. Successful. Parameters, morph loader, and boom. A pose. Fingers restored. Okay, then I should have made a material preset here the last time. Maybe we'll try a different one. There. Different skin color. And then no smooth shading. And roughness approximation here. Bone editor. We're almost there, so that's not bad. Just bringing to shape. Clonk. And then on our morph here, we want to say ERC freeze. And now, and, yes. It's a guy's pose. Little adjustments unnecessary, that's cool. I love we don't have any poke through because the clothing and the character is one object. And the fingers, yes, I'm gonna have a pose that just resets the hands because that's not gonna play well no matter what we do. But you know, in principle, oops, we're there. Sometimes it works quite well. Cool beans! Let me try this with the points. I'm interested if it would bring back if it would just make the fingers a little bit better here. And we'll try this with this pose here, base walking pose C. Let's go and at least, let's save it as a scene, or actually render it out maybe? No, let's save it as a scene, so we can bring that back. DAZ scene, so we'll call this one walking, what did I say? Walking C, no points. A pose, so that we have a bit of a record what we've done there. And let's go back here and try our best with Control Z to undo what I've done to put them points back. There we go. Points, perfect. Okay, so those points, and with the new mesh as well. That was female police V3, wasn't it? And we'll say load as single file. With and without. Points. Yes, Brian, you're correct. It's all good with the points. So do you think then if I were to duplicate multiple characters, I can save my points out as well, right? That is somehow possible. I saw that somewhere. Points format, right? Export and import here. That is possible. So you can go and so because all the Synty characters will eventually look like this or similar to that. So their hands and feet will always be in the same position. I can probably just go and load that points file back in, right? For every character. Because I'm planning to convert them all, and they have to go and once I have this workflow down, we can just go and browse through them and then literally set character presets up so that I can bring them into my scenes and apply poses. This is exciting! So do we need to rewrap? I suppose we do. Yes, it says compute. It's like a suit, it just goes... Right, but then at the same time it's only a few points. It'll be easy to set by hand, I suppose. Part of the creative process. We've got the lattice, that's all fixed already. So we'll go and say this is now G8V. Let's call her V4 actually. Wrap exports and see if this looks any better now. compared to this. I might actually just go save this out as a subscene. That's even easier. If I just go and make myself another folder in our test directory here so that I can use it as a library, and then I can save our current progress out into that. It's a growing thing here, isn't it? So we'll call this one... Actually, I have it already. I have one, don't I? I have DAZ scene, so I might just go and use this as DAZ scenes. I might just go and rename it DAZ Synty scenes. Just so that when I map that here, it actually makes sense to me tomorrow. DAZ Synty scenes there. Perfect. So these guys are here. Walking, no, but that's perfect. It's already in there. That's exciting. So I could just go and use a subset here that just has the character. I'll just go overwrite this. Say that's cool. Just need this guy. Okay, perfect. It's a set. All right, you can go. We import G8 version 4. Here she is. Better fingers, certainly better fingers, I can tell. That is nice. I don't know if this figure, if Genesis 8 needs to be visible for that. Let's just try out what happens when she isn't visible. If we can still use her as a donor figure, I think we can. Perfect. Go into here and no and no and yes. And boom. Perfect. I love it. So then, let me actually just go and alt click and drag this guy into here. Or girl, rather. Oh, hello. You working on it? I can't tell. There. And I can do that, so I'm gonna save this out as a material preset. We call it matte. And then I can just go and apply it to this woman. They look like twins, just, you know, not quite and stuff. Edit Object Morph Loader Pro. Choose Morph. And it's going to be Policewoman V3 from our OBJ characters thing. We'll go in there. That's succeeded. We'll do this. And then we do that. And then that is there. That is just magic, isn't it? That's just magic. You know, in that respect, the playing with 3D programs is a little bit, for us at least, like playing video games, isn't it? Where other people try to work out how to proceed in a 3D world, we kind of do the same thing. And it's not really about what we get out of it and what comes out and what we can then do with whatever comes out of the tool. We just enjoy the tool. That's an interesting way of looking at it, isn't it? I like looking at it that way. Approach DAZ Studio as if it was a video game, or any of these things like Blender and ZBrush. You go, oh, I wonder what happens if I do this, and then you have a good time, and then you close the program, and then, you know, you do something else. But it's not necessary that there is something that comes out. It's nice if you have something like a memento that comes out at the other end, or if you use it for something like a story, like in Rod's case, or an animation, like in Brian's case. But if that's not the case, then that's also a valid, nice pastime, I find. Wait, this needs to go be shifted to that, clean, and then we go and do that, and then we do that, and we do this, and I think then we do that, and then we also yeah, that we don't do that. It's very important that we don't do that. Clean. Then we do this. And then we give him, her, it also this pose here, which was base pose walking. And we'll see if there's a different... Yes, there is a difference. There's big difference in the fingers. Look at that. So it is worth putting the points, and we don't have finger issues. 100% worth it. $100% worth it. This is points, this is without points. Very nice. We're 3D hackers, that's what we are. Oh, wow. I'm so hooked. This is really cool. $200 well invested, Brian. Wrap 3D, R3DS, the Russian 3D scanner. My God, what magical software. I don't think I know any other program that does this. Me too, because $370 is a little bit, you know, that's crazy. But it's also worth it, I'm thinking, because there's really nothing like it in the market. I was crazy enough to buy the $200 version and also buy the $50 ZBrush license for ZWrap or ZWrap, because I thought, I'm not entirely sure if that's, you know, if it has better or more features or whatever, and I thought I really wanted to put it through the ringer, and it's not going to happen in 30 days. So I thought $50, this is good. So I got the whole package for $250, and man, I'm looking at this now and I'm thinking, ooh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Have you seen the Wrap 4D, the thing that they have that makes this all possible with an animation? So I've only looked into it, and you can't really download it. But I understand that it's kind of an animated 3D scan of some bloke doing stuff, and you wrap that around a 3D mesh, and then, you know, you do stuff like that. That's insanity. There's also, we need to have a look at these things, whatever all this is. These look like presets to me, including these expressions here. I'm kind of interested to see how we can, you know, deal with all these types of things. So I've not experimented with this at all. I just know there's more to this program than we're currently exploring. Oh, that's for the facial morph stuff. Gotcha. I'm actually glad that they did do a sale, because sometimes professional tools, they just go, well, we're not really, for us it's more about getting more users rather than about selling licenses. But I'm glad they've done it. So wonderful. And like you say, Julia, it only took us 1 hour. That's quite nice. Let's see then if we go and use this whole node setup here and try to do this with another Synty character that's also perhaps a woman, just so that, you know, I don't think it matters with the low poly guys if it's male or female thing, but I'd like to try it with a different mesh and see if I can reutilize my points and the project and, you know, bits and pieces, and the pose file in Blender. That is just so beautiful. I'm so happy about this. Well, let's save this as a subset as well. Oops. I'll call her Police Woman Final. I put the eyes in the right places. They're just kind of dotted all over in the file name there. And just her there, V4. That's just so cool. That's insanely good. And you'd think she has a nice little, should have a nice little thumbnail, but that's okay. We can, oh, there she is. That's her actually. Yeah, if you put this closer to the camera, then whatever is in vision at this time when you make this file, that's what makes this screenshot here. So if I go and save her now, then this screenshot is going to change. This is the OpenGL preview render, and you can you know, replace that with other things later. Madness! Look at what we've made! This is Synty Policewoman. Welcome! This is Synty Policewoman, who's now fully posable in DAZ Studio. That is just so cool. She can do things with her arms, like, you know, like this. She can walk around. She can turn her head and stuff. I absolutely love it. All by the magic of 3DS wrap. She can lift her hands. Is there a sitting pose we should be trying out? That is something else I'd like to see here. Sitting. Sitting. There we go. And she sits. Oh, minimal adjustments needed. This is now usable, completely usable for low poly background characters. That is just awesome. So cool. Yes, minimal adjustments. Oh boy. For a change, right? Because so often we deal with stuff that just doesn't work, and my god, what, this is just wonderful. I'm super happy about this. This is just the implication, Jeremy, which means if you're still watching, Jeremy, we need to talk about you exporting with that wonderful other magic utility that you have that I don't have, that you somehow export the Synty base levels out as, I forgot already, something that DAZ Studio can read and then import. And we need to talk about this, how you do this, because I like to try that as well. That I install Unity, load the demo level in Unity. There's some kind of exporter file that isn't supposed to work with the current version of Unity, but it does because somebody nice wrote it and makes it available for $20, which I super appreciate. And you know, then you can export the levels that you can then import into DAZ Studio and have these guys wander around these levels inside DAZ Studio. Oh my goodness. The jury rigging. Okay, so let's go and see. We go and delete her out, and we're left with our Genesis base character here. And let's see what other characters we have. So this is our blend file. I think I might just make Genesis invisible here as well. And this here is Policewoman, so I'll go and maybe rename her. I don't know why I keep smuggling an I into Policewoman. What other characters do we have here? These are the original City characters. We've got businessman, shirt, there's businesswoman, female coat. Let's have a look at the references on the Synty website. On syntystore.com. No worries, Jeremy, no worries. If ever you needed characters converted, do let me know. Happy to do this for you. Shops pack. These are great things. So have a look at that. I need to have a look at those characters here. They are also beautiful. These levels are huge, and it's a joy to look at this. And wouldn't it be cool if you could build your own scenes like that inside DAZ Studio? Which looks like we're getting there. We're getting there. All low poly. Computer no longer freezing up. There's no longer a texture issue. And now poses like that will be possible in DAZ Studio with these characters. Ha! So cool. So let's have a look at what other characters we can use. I've only just got this pack downloaded here. I think it's the City pack. This is the one we got with the Humble Bundle. Literally a year ago, 2 years ago. Is this correct? Yes, this is correct. So we have... This is probably businesswoman here. This is here. I'd like to use someone like her. I like to avoid skirts and long coats and all that. only because it's problematic with the weight maps. That's kind of stage 2. Let's go and celebrate our successes a little bit. So we have businesswoman, and we have someone else woman. Which one might she be? Female coat, female jacket, that's probably her. Let's try female jacket. Let's try female jacket. So if I go import her, FBX wise, female jacket. And we don't want animation. Import that. Total mess. I might just put these guys into their separate collections here. So maybe I'll go and call this collection Policewoman. And then I'll go and move this here into another collection. I'll call that one, what was she called again? I can't remember. I'll just call her woman now, for now. Is she in there? So no, she's just, yeah, this is something I don't really understand about Blender all that well. That the armature and the character are kind of separate when you import an FBX. Let's try and delete this. And be in this other collection already. So the benefit is I can just go and close this and then go and import this again. This is where it gets a bit scary. So female coat, that was a female jacket, that was it. I think female jacket. Boom, that's it. Female jacket. So we go and click on the pose thing, then we go on to pose mode and we say pose clear transform all. And then girly is, you know, is here. That's all groovy. I go back into object mode, select the actual character. And, oh no, actually we wanted to change the pose, don't we? Okay, that needs to probably happen in pose mode. So I wonder, I've saved the other A pose of the other woman. And I wonder, was it like we can do copy and paste pose? That's good. So that would work. Ah, welcome back, Jeremy. Bloody packets. Pose library. And we could add a pose, but we can't now load a pose. That's 100% Blender design this. Now you can save all the poses you like. The end. Oh, thanks. That's awesome. But we can also just go copy and paste. Let's do that. So let's go and use this here from our other police woman. And say pose, copy pose. Oh, that's just Control C. That's nice. Remove, select this. Actually, Control V. On selected only? No, just like overall. I mean, just go do it, you know? No. That's a shame. Is that not how it works? Maybe that's not how it works in pose mode. Is that possible that this all works in here? No, it doesn't do that, does it? So this is the A pose here, but it doesn't work in, it only works here. Maybe just copy. Is that possible? And now we just go to, do we need to select another? Is that how we do that? If only we knew. V, on select only. I don't really mind, just go and do it, you know? But no, that's not how it works. Root has to be selected. Maybe, yes. Yeah, if only we knew. Bummer. I mean, now that we know, we can, it's fairly easy and simple to dial these values in, but it's still like 50 clicks per figure, and there's got to be a way to way to work this out. In pose mode, what can we do? Box select, mirror, grouped pattern, pose. Transform, click to sphere, animation, in-betweens, copy, pose, flipped, pose library. What do we need to even select to save some pose out somehow? Let's try hard again. Let's go disable this, and imagine we also disable this. And we have policewoman, select policewoman. And this is now just object stuff, so we have to be in pose mode for that. Pose. Browse poses. Oh, can we? No, we can't. There's nothing to browse. Current pose, Synty A pose. Where is... Would you browse? Would suggest you actually see something to browse? Like with your eyes rather than your mind's eye? Pose, library, browse. Previewing pose, Synty A pose. Yeah, that's great. That's the pose. So then, could we do this not on the other woman? Like female jacket, let's select her maybe? Is she now selected? Pose, library, browse? No, can't do that. Gotcha. So she's selected. And all her... Oh no, now all the bones are selected. Yeah, that's uncool. How does it know which thing is selected with what? This is so bad, isn't it? Right now I can't browse things anymore. So if I go and select her, can I browse stuff now? But no, can't do that either. So if I go back to object mode and I'm making sure I'm selecting... I mean, it's also difficult to see when they're on top of one another, but I'm thinking it's probably her that I'm selecting, going into pose mode, and I go to pose, library, browse. Doesn't work. So if I go on A to select all her bones, how does that work? Pose library, no, doesn't work. Copy paste doesn't work. Browsing only works when you're doing it to the exact same character. Nicely done, Blender boys. Nicely done. Touché. Change bone layers, that's gotta be... Browse suggests window pops up, here's a choice. But no, we don't do that in Blender. We just go put one line and let you not actually browse things when there's browse on the menu. Gotcha. Well, okay, I suppose the only thing we can do then is just adjust the pose manually once again. Which is... Okay, I'll just one click, 2 clicks. And then axis angle was 45. Yeah, but how do you... But not in that direction, dude. It's in a different direction. It's like RY and then it's 45. That's also completely not something I understand. That I have to say RY, just wiggle it a little bit, and then turn this to 45. Or not. W doesn't... Oh no, because I need to change this to axis angle. Yes. Hence so many clicks. But okay, click the bone, select axis angle, and then we said... What did we say? 10? I think it was all so easy to remember. And then we have to select this bone in here, which is what I'm thinking. It's all the same, isn't it? It's the same bone, so a pose that is applied should kind of work. Probably the 50 node array, yes. Rod is eating pizza. It's so funny. RY, just wiggle it a bit and then type in 10, because otherwise it picks the direction for you, which is usually the one you don't want. No problem, Blender, thank you. That makes total sense. And then she's all good to get exported now. Yeah, maybe we need to write a macro that does all these things for us. That'd be good. OBJ character. So she's gonna be, what do we say, female jacket. Female jacket. Nothing has changed. So then meanwhile in wrap, let's see if I can just go, well, first of all, save this project as it is right now. And then I'll go and load in female jacket. See if everything, there we go. There she is. This works. And then this also works. Look at that, same phenomenon. How are we doing on the points front? Points are totally mangled. Vertex order ever so slightly changed. Hey, that's okay. I suppose that we just have to do that again then. Can you imagine? I now shift the points where they need to be. Clear all. That's good. All of them. I'm okay with setting the points again. Just gonna save this as a project with a different file name here. Wrap projects, female jacket. Dang, that would have been good. We're still with the geometry symmetry here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna make it even better than before. And 5. And then we set the feet. Oh, actually I need to put those points on here first, don't I? I mean, I don't have to, but I'm the guy with a fairly short attention span, so there. Feet. I can't remember how we did this now. Was it 2 points? Like little toe, big toe type thing? I think it was, wasn't it? Like little toes here. Big toes kind of... Oh, let's just say little toes here. Big toes here. Or thereabouts. And then heel as well. I think that's how I did it, wasn't it? Head, I think I'm okay with the head. Compute. Speed compute. Nice. Lattice output. We totally don't worry about the janked up face. We're all good. Wrap exports a female jacket. All right, compute. Back into DAZ Studio, where we don't actually need to see this figure here. Import female jacket with everything. And since we now have a material preset, we might as well just apply that immediately. That's didn't work. What a shame. Why not? Because it's not called Lambert anymore. It is. Oh, I should have done it as a shader. I should have done it as a shader, and then it'll work much better probably. Yes, it's just one flat material, and then it doesn't look for the same wording and all. Let's do it now before we even do the transfer. So policewoman final, let's go bring her in, and her material. Might actually make a, yeah, I'm gonna just put it in here first. It's gonna be a shader preset, and I'll overwrite matte. And in fact, I'm gonna be really neat and turn it into a nice looking thumbnail, like so. So shader preset, matte. Already exists. All good. That is it. Here she is. Perfection. And now we don't need you anymore. Bring back you. You can now have select surface, apply shader. All right. Wonky, but salvageable. Don't you worry about it, Mrs. What's Your Face. There's also the thing that you're still smooth, which isn't saved with shader. That's interesting, but that's cool. We can save it like this. Okay, transfer utility. Let's restore you to your former glory. Genesis 8 donor figure, female jacket, recipient figure. Now we're rigged. Now let's go edit object morph loader pro. That's the wrong button, isn't it? OBJ characters, female jacket, and success. Ah, much better. Terrible, good. Terrible, good. Excellent. Make this 0, pop into edit mode, grab this little guy, head over to edit, adjust rigging to shape. Ding! Oh, where's that bone come from? And let's just not worry about it, it's cool. We're okay. ERC freeze. Disable edit mode. Happiness. I think. I'm hoping. Test pose. Very fashion model. This looks ill. They all look ill. I wonder if there's something wrong with her. With that big sticky out bone that we had. Yeah, there's something wrong with that bone, isn't there? She looks like she's got the hunch. If only I knew. I mean, I'm sure it has to do something with this thing here. Adjust rigging to shape. I mean, you know, you'd imagine. This bone kind of gives it away. You probably shouldn't be here. You should probably be somewhere here. Much like you. I mean, I'm no expert, but being outside looking massive is probably not healthy. What does this look like in the regular Genesis figure? Yeah, they're all kind of fairly small inside the head. So I'm assuming this might be better. God knows what all these bones are. This is neck upper. That's neck lower. I can see that. Right collar. These are good. And then head is kind of here. Right. So head needs to be above neck upper. If this is neck upper, then head should probably be somehow above it. There is an auto align option, isn't there? auto align node. Upper face rig. I don't think we need. I think let's go and get these guys into shape here. Right collar looks good, and then neck lower is kind of okay. I suppose could be a little bit larger here. It's actually the wrong way around, so it needs to be this guy. Neck upper, and then that's also that's neck lower. Sorry, that's neck lower. Then neck upper, that's also misaligned. Is that really YZX? Because this one is also YZX. Oh, this just needs to be shifted over here, and then okay, there's some kind of auto alignment thing that you can do. And then head. It's possibly like this. I mean, I really don't know. But that could be... that would make more sense than whatever it did before. It's okay, Madness. 3060 is a good card. It's also an affordable card. It's the lowest RTX card that you can currently buy that's in production. Yeah, it's got get the one that isn't TI. So there's two versions. One is the TI version, which is slightly faster, but only has 8 GB of RAM. And then there's one that isn't TI, the non-TI version, and that has 12 GB of RAM. That's the one to get. And list price is about $350. Currently only available for around 1,000, but yeah, it's a good card. And actually, yes, good thing, exactly what Brian said. I have it as well. It's currently being used, not on this computer, but for the streaming rig, and it is currently streaming wonderful pictures to you. So it is currently being used. The Synty massage parlor rod, that's something. Let's see if we go and... I think we need to go and ERC freeze this morph again, I believe. And then, well, that's good-ish. Let's see what happens now. Does this works better, doesn't it? I think she's less ill now, like with the whole head thing. That didn't work out. Yeah, look at that. She no longer is ill. Greatly appreciate that. She still has the shoulders coming out a little bit, but I think I'm okay with that. Yes, looks much better now. Yes, much less ill. Look at that! Fixed rigging without really knowing what I was doing. That's kind of cool. I applied logic and it worked. Upgrade from a 1080. Is it the TI version? Because that's still a good card. I wouldn't do anything rash with it. It's still a very good card. I still have various 970s doing all kinds of good things. Live long and prosper, Rod. I'll save this as a scene subset as well. This is great, making progress. 2 characters turned into Genesis 8. If we could only figure out the pose issues in Blender, that would be really nice. I'm going to do some light reading on this. This is female jacket. And then, of course, the other thing that we need to fix is how do we deal with people with skirts. So we can try it in the next character. Ding! In fact, let's do that. So female jacket, we'll go and close her down, create a new collection, which I don't really know which one's going to be yet. But let's try one more character. I think we can do that before Mr. Chris is happening at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We can try one with the skirt. Let's try businesswoman, maybe. Businesswoman, import, mangled. Move to collection 3, and then collection 3 we're going to call businesswoman. Select pose, 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 clear pose, and do not look at the pose library, because, you know, I mean, we can try. Pose library, browse, nah, browse is grayed out. No browsing for you. Click this, and then this we change to axis angle, and then RY to kind of here, and then type in 45 manually, because if you do it the other way around, Blender freaks out. RY, wiggle a little bit, put it into the general-ish direction, quickly change this to angly what's it, and then we do this. Super convenient that we do that with that as well. That goes into here. RY what's it, and then we call this 10. Same thing here, but where the bone is so buried in the figure that we can't actually see it. Go put that in here, RY move, and then just call it, whoops, call it 10. All right, perfect. This doesn't actually take so long, so I'm good with that. Interesting that when I bring it back to here, the pose goes away. Why is that then? Did that happen on the other characters as well? I didn't actually see that. How about female jacket? No, look, female jacket I can bring into the pose mode. And she remains. How does that work? Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, come on, Blender. This is just ridiculous. What are all these bones doing? This is crazy. The Emerger! How you doing? Very good to see you. Yes, not the TI version. Don't buy the TI version. Unlike in previous generations where the TI versions were more desirable, now they are not. Good to see you. Hey, do you know anything about posing characters in Blender, Emerger? Because that is a hot mess. I say hot mess. I don't know, maybe I've broken it. Could that be it? I might have broken it. A tiny bit. I'm doing good. I'm doing really, really good. I'm doing really exciting things with Synty characters, R3DS and DAZ Studio. I'm bringing the Synty characters into DAZ Studio and rigging them up as Genesis 8 figures, but as standalone rigged figures. But I have to repeat the process time and time again. And here is the conundrum. And in fact, the businesswoman looks so mangled, I might just go and I might do this again. Here's a character I brought in earlier, but she really is coming in the T-pose. So I select the skeleton here, and I head over to pose, and I can adjust each of these individual bones here to turn her from a T-pose into the A-pose. Now my question is, how can I save this as a pose preset so that I can apply the same pose to other characters that have the same skeleton? Does that make sense? So just to let you know what happens if these characters come in brand new, I'll go and maybe I'll just go and delete my, yeah, no, I'll just leave everything as is. I'll just go and import my FBX, and I'll show you this with a male hoodie guy. This is how he comes in, which is a little bit odd, but you know, we'll just say, hey, that's just how it happens. So I'll select this skeleton here, head into pose mode, and then I say pose clear all, and then he looks okay. I mean, even though the bones aren't lined up properly, I'm kind of okay with that. If I go back into object mode, then you know he's back like this, and the previous person that I had here, she's already got the A pose on it. This person, which is kind of overlapping here. Let me make a new collection so we can individually switch them off a little bit better. This, it's going to be difficult to get this guy in because I need to select more things that I know how to do. So I'm struggling a little bit, and I wonder if I could just bring, you know, if I could just apply a pose rather than adjust these bones every single time. I've tried with the A pose library, add pose. I thought, hey, that's a good thing, but I now can't browse it and apply it to this character. I've also tried copy and paste pose, but that didn't work. So it's a bit of a problem. So for now, I go basically select this, and I'd love it if I just type in a value, but of course that's not how Blender rolls. You have to first of all click something, and then I just go and put 45 in here, but that is of course not what I want. It's 45 in another direction, so I'll have to just go RY and kind of wiggle, and then type in 45. Makes total sense to me, because, you know, that's just how things work, right? Otherwise, everyone could do it. I'm sure there's an explanation that makes sense. Yeah, so essentially this this process here, I wonder if there's a way to, you know, make that easier. It doesn't take all too long to do it manually. Oh yes, and then the other thing that happened. No, that's right. 45 isn't 45, which is that's perfectly understandable. So the other thing that I had a problem with a minute ago, I've made these adjustments, and then when I go back to the object mode, the other character went back into the T-pose. This character thankfully did not, but my businesswoman did that. So when I switch from pose mode to object mode, he snaps back into, or she snapped back into the T-pose. Don't know what that was all about. But yeah, so he can, I think we can go and move him into collection 4 and then call this guy. What did I call him again? He was called Male Hoodie. There we go. Just want to make sure I call this Male Hoodie there. Let's see if I export him out as OBJ, Male Hoodie, scale 100. That's all good. That hasn't changed. Boom. Yeah, see if I go back to businesswoman here. She's in. Oh, she's now in the A pose. Why did she then snap back when? Or was I maybe accidentally in edit mode? It would do that if I'm in edit mode. Maybe I did it actually. Maybe I accidentally did this. See, that would make sense. I don't recall edit mode, but that would make sense how she went into the tube. That's. See if I understand it. In the right column, there's 2 green icons. One is for the armature and one is for the bone. I never really understood this, but it makes sense. You could show the armature one. Like these things, right? That's what you mean? Yeah, I never understood this. I understand this is the mesh. I can see that. That makes sense with vertex groups and modifiers. Those are all objects. But then there's this and then there's that. Yes, that I don't really... I've never really looked into armatures. Bottom part on the right. Oh, this here. This bone position and this. Are these the ones you mean? Those are scary things for me in Blender. I appreciate you helping me out of this. This is really nice. bone groups. Pose library. Oh, this is the pose library we've been talking about. Ah, pose library. The rest position button, this here. Yes, 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 yes. She goes into the rest position and then she goes into the pose position. Ah, okay, that makes sense because this is what I've dialed in and this is the rest position. That's cool. I wonder then if we can just go with the pose selected. If I just go click this. No, I can't because new is grayed out. Dang, maybe I'll click on pose and do this. Nah, that doesn't work either. Gotcha. Pose lib or Synty A pose. Oh, I see. That's a pose library that we need to select first. Something that's saved in there could potentially be applied to someone else. When pose is selected. Could we be hot on the trail of something seriously exciting, Emerga? Let me go and bring in another character and see how that rolls, because that kind of makes sense. the missing panel option. Why don't we try that with another character? And let's say male police. How about the male police guy? Male police guy, all janky. Let's go move him into a new collection. Call it male police right away. Pop you in there. Select this. Go into that. Go do this. That's kind of cool. Under pose, what happens if we now go and select the pose library? Check it out. And we have Synty A pose and can I? No, it doesn't work. What a shame. That would have been good. Hey, that would have been good. Maybe select all of this and then apply this somehow. Is there something I can apply button? You'd imagine just clicking on it would do it, but nah, that's cool. Active pose marker index, double click to rename. Apply pose library pose. Yeah, that didn't work. Sanitize pose library action. If you want, absolutely. I'm happy to do that. Let me DM you in Discord. That's cool. I think Chris is going to stream at 7, and while he's on air, I'm happy to do that. I'll send you this blend file, and I'll also send you the original FBX of a character, and then you can have a look. If you can make head or tail of it, that would help me out a lot, because I'm sure it's possible in Blender. It's probably a process that makes sense, but if you don't know, it's difficult. So I'm essentially looking for something a bit like in DAZ Studio, where you say load a character, apply pose, that sort of thing. But hey, let's see if we can just wrap one more character. This one is female jacket. I'm gonna go and save that and go grab a last character for the day. We had female jacket, female police, male hoodie. Let's do male hoodie. Oh no, he was male, wasn't he? He was, and he'll get a female rig now. He's gonna get a male rig. Important. We'll do that. Bring him in. Here he is. Male hoodie. Oops. I keep doing that. Okay, so then here Genesis. This is the Genesis female, so I'm going to go and grab a Genesis male then. Devload here. We can do it before Chris goes on air. Come on, we're seasoned professionals. And it's so fast because it's all low poly. It's just like... No worries, no worries. Don't promise anything, and do it if you have time. So don't sweat it if it doesn't work. It's totally cool. If we figure something new out, awesome for everyone. But if it doesn't work, totally fine as well. We were talking about this earlier, that we like Brian and Rod and I. We very much appreciate. We very much approach doodling with 3D bits and pieces very much like if it was a video game. G8 male base. And, you know, it's just about doing things and having fun. And I really like that attitude. I'll go and load him in. G8 male base. Because, you know, he is male, so there we go. Male, haha. Small components, if we just go remove him, small components are being selected, and he now no longer has a face. That's also necessary. And bits of his clothing are missing. That's also totally fine. This is who he's going to morph into. Select points are kind of necessary. They are no longer correct because the vertex order is different with each model, which makes sense. Clear all. I think we're good on the body, so we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the fingers. This is seriously good stuff. Have you seen this, Emerga? This is literally like magic. And how this works is just, I mean, whoa. So fingers is an issue, the shoes is also an issue, or feet rather. I'll say this is little toe, this is the big toe. Just roughly, and this is going to wrap the Synty guy into the shape of the Genesis figure. So I'll say these two pieces are essentially kind of these two pieces, just roughly. And head, it's going to work it out. Under the wrapping node. Oh, what does it say? There's something else here now. Floating geometry should be manifold. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, we haven't had that before. That's an interesting one, Brian. Look at that. Can be weird sometimes. Yes, I totally agree. Also, this is the kind of the first time we're seeing this today, that it says, the wrapping node says, floating geometry should be manifold. And we're selecting the same small components. Whoops. Ah, it's crashed. Dang. Our hack has failed us. I was going to just use the repair geometry, but it's crashed on us. It's crashed. I think I've saved the previous version. Dang. Is it because I'm using the trial version? Nah, come on. I'm going to install the license later. Recent projects. I hasn't even remembered this, but I did save it before, so that's good. Wrap projects. I had female jacket. Let's go start with that because it has all the nodes in there. Okay, let's start again. Synty. Female jacket. Well, maybe I'll just go and reload the geometry and show you how it works and what it does. Reload this and that. We have this character here in all her glory. Then we have that character, different topology, different mesh altogether. We're repairing this somehow with this, removing bits and pieces. We're selecting these pairs and then we'll say compute. And then it just goes and wraps one around the other and turns the other character into basically into the character that I'd like. And this is now the shape of Genesis, which allows me to transfer the rigging from that figure. And then in the end, I can go and restore the previous morph. And that lets me now basically do this. She still has this wonky neck there. I thought I had fixed that. You saw me fix it. It came back bad. Crazy stuff. But hey, this is how it works. And now we have a posable rigged figure. Let me go and remove her, actually. And go bring her in. There, she looks a bit better. And that's awesome because now it looks like the Synty guys, and it's posable and usable. And it's all thanks to this morph here. So this is what it comes out from wrap, and then I can restore it into its former glory, like this. Do you think it's tired? Yeah, that could be. Could well be. Maybe we've confused it with too many bits and pieces here. So I'll go and load the other guy, male hoodie. Here he is. After we delete polygons, he looks like that. Genesis needs to also be the other geometry now. That's a Genesis 8 male base. If the male base doesn't work, I'm happy to use a female base. That's a possibility. This reckons floating geometry should be manifold, and we need to do the point pairs. So I wonder then if before we give it this, should we try the repair geometry node in between here? Maybe that'll work. Repair geometry. Put that into here and then put this into here. And you like that? No! Now it says floating geometry contains two disconnected polygons components, should be one. So this is now this awkward thing in which if we make it manifold and it'll say that, and then you take these away and it says you need to make it manifold. It's kind of this awkward spiral. I don't really know what that means. I think the women were easier because they had basically their head open, and that was just much easier for wrap to figure out. So maybe some people can't be used, like, you know, this poor guy. Well, hey, we're okay. We can always try the businesswoman. Let's try her. Stick with the women. Businesswoman. She's the APOL, so we'll go and grab her in here. Businesswoman. That's what she looks like, with and without props here. It's kind of interesting. Also removes the legs. That's that. I don't think that's good, because the legs, we need them to put points on. So that is a bit of a problem here. Try the repair node before the bit selection. That's also a possibility. What does it say now? It's happy with this, but yeah, without the feet. So did they just model it that the feet just, basically the legs are just independent things, they're not connected to the main geometry? Man, cowboys! The poor lady. The other girl had an open head. Let me try that, Brian. Let me try that. Let me go back to the guy with the male hoodie guy here. Here he is. And this guy, I'm going to go with male base. That's still correct. So repair before we make this selection and deletion, right? Repair geometry. This goes in here, and then its output we'll put into here, right? And that goes into delete. What does he say? Yes, that'll work. That'll work. I mean, it says. See what the select points are doing. Yeah, they need to be done again, but that's okay. Brian, once again, the Brian. So repair geometry, then select small components. And then we'll see what we get. So just quickly 1, 2, 3, 4, and top of your thumb 5. Ha! Another legless woman, yes. Whoops. Accidental point here. There we go. This and that corresponds to kind of this and that. There we go. The back of the heel. We do this and that, and we'll just call that this and that. Alrighty. And I'll save it. This is wrap project male hoodie. Wrapping note says we're good to go. Let's go compute. Boom. Too much eggnog at the office party. Maybe, yes. Lattice note. How you doing? Yep, you're looking swell. I like it. Save you as male hoodie. And compute current frame. All right. Let's see. Can we bring him in as the final guy of the night? Male hoodie. That means we've rigged 2 female characters and 1 male character. That is very nice. Male hoodie. Let's go and put a material on you right away, buddy, because that should work. Ding, there we go. Very good. And we want this to be not smooth. You almost look good the way you are. You don't even need to be turned into... you know, back into Synty character. Assets, transfer utility, the magic, Genesis 8 male, 2 male hoodie guy. No fit, no parent. Ka-ding! Neat. You now, sir, are fully posable. If only I press the right buttons here, that's nice. But do you want to look like your former self? Yes, of course you do. So we'll go Edit Object Morph Loader Pro. Bring in male hoodie. Hope for the best, and morph created successfully. So whatever needed to be done in this whole repair geometry node, he even turned his head. Look at that. It's very nice, isn't it? It's everything that was wonked out just to bring him into the position of the skeleton was totally fine, because we're restoring all these vertices later. That's so good. And final thing is, of course, that edit adjust rigging to shape. Ah, yes. And we also have an issue here that sometimes bones just get janked out of alignment. What have we got here? What's this one then? This one is left nostril. I think we can probably live with that. I don't know why it's sometimes just so crazy. But hey. Who are we to argue? Figure this ERC freeze so that DAZ Studio can interpolate between these things as we dial in that slider. And the thinker. Posable. Minor adjustments necessary. But hey. Male Synty guys, female Synty guys, rigged! Oh, thank you so much, Jeremy. If only I had... if only I had put the sound alerts on there. There's something wrong. I thought I removed that that extension, but I guess I haven't. Thank you so much for the applause. I really appreciate that. But hey, we've done it. We've done it all. This is seriously good. So I'm gonna go and give it all the way over to Chris. Thank you so much for, you know, I think waiting for me. No, that's not what Chris does. He just goes ahead and does it. But that's cool. We're gonna go all and meet over at Chris's place. He's already streaming. So see you all there. Thank you so much for chipping in and all your wonderful tips. Thank you so much, Brian, for making this possible, for digging in deeper, and you know, even fixing this last hitch along the lines. This is really nice. I'm going to do more of this, and probably tomorrow, because tomorrow is actually Christmas Eve. It'd be good to meet again on Christmas Eve. So around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4, 5, something like that. Meet me here. I'll meet you over at Chris's. Thank you so much for the offer, Emerga. I will DM that over to you, and I will see you over at Chris's place. Take care.